Thank you so much for staying on the AM show. For our news today, we start off in Kumawu, where the new patriotic party's Ernest Anim has won the parliamentary by-election with 71% of total votes cast. He polled 15,264 votes to beat closest contender, Ashaiman of the National Democratic Congress, who had 3,723 votes. The two independent candidates in the contest failed to poll surprises. Returning officer Paul Ashaiman declared MPP's Anim winner.
1,731, 21,721, 731, sorry. And now, by the power vested in me, Paul Ashaiman, as the constituency returning officer for Kumawu, I hereby declare you, Ernest, please come over. Ernest Anim of the NPP as the parliamentary member of parliament elect for Kumawu constituency. Thank you, and the good Lord bless us all.
Well, Mr. Anim has been responding, and here's what he's been saying in his victory speech.
The people of Kumawu, that the contractor is going to be with us for the next 14 months. He is going to make sure that every road that is in the pipeline from Efijase all the way to Ranso is constructed. He's going to work on the Kumawu town roads, which includes Abotanso, Pepiase, and all the surrounding towns within Kumawu. So for us, we know we have said and we are going to deliver. This is not a lie. This is not to win the seat. This is something that the party was committed to doing and the government was committed to doing. We are going to continue to do more in the education sector. We are going to do more in agriculture. We are going to help with the unemployment situation we have in the constituency. There are several other things that we intend doing for our people, and I believe that the people of Kumawu are going to see progress. They are going to see development. Mining now, last rally. Say Nyankopon na bekasa enne edue mekane baabi nso say adwuma yaye ene adwuma MPP party yaya eguso ayeye no enkunimdi a na nam kwan mu ba na enkunimdi kese na me mpase meto number bi but na me die makoma mu no menim say enkunimdi kese ana eba ma MPP party Ghana nyina age MPP atum say MPP ne party a ye betime dia call promised land no MPP ne party a omo kan omo ye enne ye ka say ye be Kumawu kwan enne nyina ye ho ye ka say ye beboa asiese Kumawu district hospital enne August ye be bie hospital no ama Kumawu ma ye nya esomfaso MPP at the school feeding program by the free SHS by Ghana for nya somfaso Kumawu anya somfaso we ne nhyehyɛ pa party no ya boa Ghana man ene Kumawu man it's na menim say Ghana for be hye na nado animonyam Kumawu Yabesha Nanadu and Monyam, Yabesha His Excellency, the Vice President and Monyam, Yashe MPP Party and Monyam, Amananado, MPP Nino say, and Yoma Moya Kumauha, and Yoma Yaya Ghana, Kumawu, Yania so, Yaniaji, Esaya, just breaking the 8 na yakana, possible. Yabesa breaking 8 no account. Into 2024, it is. We are a total a year. It's just a statement. It's just the MPP. We are ready to break the 8.
How do you seek to break the 8?
So you heard Mr. Anim there basically saying that this win for the MPP is proof that they can break the 8. He also says he's a unifier. He was asked if he expected to win by the margin he won by, and he said indeed he didn't want to throw figures at us, but he had said during the last rally that he believed it was going to be a resounding victory for the NPP. He mentioned some social intervention programs put together by different NPP governments and talks about how the people of Kumawu have honored the president and his vice by giving him him the opportunity to serve them in Parliament. Away from that, school children in the Lansah district of the Upper East region are playing the role of agents of change and ambassadors to facilitate community-led natural regeneration of native tree species. Now, these children have engaged in a drawing competition to make their voices heard on issues concerning deforestation and how it affects us. Correspondent Albert Sori has more.
The Forum for Natural Regeneration is an environment-based non-governmental organization working in the Upper East region to promote the regeneration of young trees and shrubs. As part of its work, the Forum for Natural Regeneration started the Farmer-Managed Natural Regeneration Eco Club project to give children a voice in the global efforts to protect the environment. The organization, therefore, organized an inter-school drawing contest for pupils in 15 selected basic schools in the Lansah district of the Upper East region. Themed "Our Environment is Our Lives," the contest was meant to provide a platform for children to express their views on what they think are the environmental issues the world is facing today and what should be done at the community level to protect trees and the environment at large. Saka Sumaila is the executive director of the Forum for Natural Regeneration.
The children of today, who will steer the future affairs of our communities, should be aware of the environmental issues we face and allowed to sit on the table in finding practical solutions that go a long way in conserving and protecting our natural resources. The objective of the contest, therefore, is to support the creative expression of our Eco Club members as young minds, to reflect on critical environmental issues in their communities as they see them in their minds, and also to promote and disseminate information among children and teachers on the importance of trees and the need to take care of them to protect the environment.
The two-year project began in August 2021 and is being implemented in partnership with the Lansah District Office of the Ghana Education Service with funding support from the Awaken Trees Foundation of Austria. Mr. Smiler said, the Farmer-Managed Natural Regeneration Eco Club project is supporting awareness creation to inculcate the habit of tree growing and regeneration in children.
In the midst of the current global climate crisis, children suffer more than adults, and the climate crisis is a child rights crisis. FONA will continue to work with our partners such as the District Assembly, the Ghana National Fire Service, NADMO, as well as our traditional leaders, so that together we can get children involved to understand the environment and the nature around them, so that they can help in building community resilience to climate change and environmental issues through ecosystem restoration.
At the end of the drawing contest, two pupils from the Kulpelga Primary School emerged winner and second runner-up, respectively. The first runner-up was a pupil from the Dapori Primary School, whilst a pupil from the Gorogo Primary School came in fourth. The winner, 12-year-old Frank Bandag, explained his art to JoyNews.
What he's trying to say, these trees represent the trees around our environment, and the eyes that we are seeing here, he said the eyes represent the human beings in the environment. And so if you look at the drawing here, part of the tree is green. Simply, it means that there's no bushfire around this side, and because of that, the trees are not disturbed or they are not burned up. And more to the point, the water being here, it has helped the tree to grow healthy, and because of that, we are breathing or we get oxygen from this particular tree. But if you look at the other side of the drawing, this eye is in tears, meaning this particular environment, the human beings here, they are not taking care of the environment here, and they have made bushfire and all that. They have made the tree dry up.
Reporting for Joy News, Albert Sori, Tongo, Talensi District.
You're watching the AM News with me, Bernice, Abu-Baidoo, Lansah. Now, 29 civil society organizations are piling pressure on President Kumawu to sack the board chairman of the GNPC, Freddie Blay, and CEO Opoku Ahweneɛ-Danquah. This follows revelations that Ghana's interest in some of its oil fields have been offered to a South African company, Petroleum Oil and Gas Corporation, Petro SA. The GNPC board chairman is said to have written to Petro SA offering it an equal split in the interest held by GNPC subsidiary Jubilee Oil Holdings Limited. There's more in the following report.
The GNPC board chairman Freddie Blay is said to have written to Petro SA offering it an equal split in the interest held by GNPC subsidiary Jubilee Oil Holdings Limited. Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh insists this move is not in the interest of Ghana as the nation will lose revenue. He is therefore asking Mr. Blay to withdraw the offer immediately. He points out that the stakes were acquired by the government of Ghana with state funds and that the South African government had already been informed that Ghana would not approve any preemption of the stakes. 29 civil society organizations including ASEP, Imani and IDEC are unhappy about the development. They want the GNPC board chairman and CEO sacked.
We demand the immediate removal of GNPC CEO Opoku Ahweneɛ-Danquah and the board chairman, Freddie W. Blay, from their respective positions as they have become a threat to Ghana's interest in the petroleum sector. 6. Additionally, we demand the immediate transfer of JOHL and all its assets from Cayman Island and other jurisdictions to GNPC. 7. We demand immediate disclosure of the Ake plan of development from the Petroleum Commission and the government. To conclude, we firmly believe that a country micromanaged by the IMF cannot be seen to engage in fiscal recklessness that undermines its recovery.
They also alleged Eka Energy is attempting to sell a floating production system it acquired for $35 million to government for $1.7 billion.
Even though Ake has sold their interest in Ghana, they are scheming to stay on the Pecan development through surrogates and Ghanaian collaborators across segments of our society to amass ridiculous benefits from the Pecan field development. Ake Energy purchased an FPSO for $35 million. In their plan of development submitted to the government, Ake's previous owners intended to build Ghana $1.7 billion for the FPSO. We admit that the Energy Ministry has raised a preliminary objection to the cost of the FPSO, but there is no proposal on how much the ministry considers fair value for the FPSO.
Between residents of Middle East in Ashaiman and a private developer over the takeover of a community football park in the area. Now, the upset residents claim there are schemes by faceless individuals in high places to sell off their last football park they depend on for social events to the private developer. They say they will resist the move. Carlos Caloni has more.
This is the Kokonte Park in Ashaiman, Middle East, which serves as the only grounds for social events and emergency gatherings for the past 40 years. But seeing these stones and container on the park overnight, residents say they suspect some faceless individuals at higher places scheming to sell off the park to a private developer. Speaking to Joy News, an opinion leader of the Resident Association, Ian Morty, warned that they will resist any attempt to take over the park.
This park has been used for over 40 years by the community for funeral, for vaccination, for disaster. But about 2 weeks ago, there's this young man called Nana who has come and has encroached on the park and telling us that it belongs to him. We suspect that What he is doing, he's fronting for somebody. And he has the backing of the Techiman Development Corporation, TDC, the Municipal Assembly, Ashaiman, and other political elements at the very top of government. We will resist any attempt to take over this very park that serves the whole community.
When contacted, the said developer Nana Ohenejan accused the resident of throwing dust into the eyes of the public, since the said parcel of land only shared boundaries with the park.
I'm not taking a community park. It is a park of the community that share boundary with my land that was allocated to me. They are throwing dust into the eye of the public that I am taking a public park. It is a land that has its genuine document and acquired through TDC legitimate process.
Reacting to these claims, the protocol officer of the TDC Development Company Limited, Ian Okwe, explained that based on the map of the community, the residents have no case.
The land in question, as you can see, is not part of the football park. There's a request that came from the Tema Traditional Council to the Director of Estates then of TDC that as all those allocations are being done, this 2 plots was to be allocated to Kobla Sebuabe. So all documents covering that particular allocation or request was done. Per eyesight, you think that the whole stretch is a community park, but the park has its dimension.
But the assembly member for the Ni Tete Amwe East electoral area, Azogi Ananga, who doubles as the presiding member for the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly, insists the TDC Development Company Limited must relocate the private developer.
I think that TDC should relocate whoever they have given this place and allow us to have our park. When we are going to do shift match, this is where the boys do rehearsals, funerals, adories, even if there's earthquake, where do we go?
On his part, the municipal chief executive of the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly, Albert Boachi Otri, added that they would dig further to know how the land was acquired by the private developer.
The collaboration should be there. The assembly will have to sit with TDC to find out from them how it happened, because so far as I'm concerned, we also have a site plan that covers the whole area. And if they mention traditional council, we will bring them to also explain to us how it came.
From Kokunte Park here in the Ashaiman municipality, my name is Carlos Galoni for JoyNews.
Now to Bono Manso, one of the survivors of the accident there that claimed 3 lives on Saturday has died at the Techiman Hospital, Holy Family Hospital. He died from severe burns after the vehicle he was traveling in collided head-on with the DAF long vehicle loaded with beverages heading towards the north. His body has since been buried together with driver of the long vehicle per the teachings of Islam, and it happened under the supervision of some family members. Anas Abed has been speaking with some relatives, and here's his report.
Gilbert Aqua is a conductor on board the Grandberg bus that collided head-on with a DAF long vehicle, leading to the death of 5 persons along the Techiman-Kintampo highway.
My name is Gabriel Aqua, but I'm a conductor on a bus with the number AK285-22. We load from Tamale to Accra.
Gilbert recounts how the bus he was traveling with failed its brake, leading to the gory accident.
Because it was a hill, he was trying to maybe get a speed to, to climb. So on his attempt to climb the hill, he wanted to strip or to bypass the distance, the STC. And meanwhile, unfortunately, for my mind is that I saw the Grandbed was, he failed brake because he was speeding. So at the time, I just told him that, Master, you are close, and he said, Kofi, I'm thinking about it, but the brake is not even, I just step on it, but the only thing that he just said is, oh, Jesus. And I just also saw a trailer coming up there. So the only thing I just saw is that he just dived to the trailer side, and the trailer just hit the other side of the driver, and the other side of me also just hit at the back of the STC.
One of the survivors, Audu Mumuni, a native of Accra, Nima, who was on his way home after traveling up north for a scheduled surgery at the Tamale Teaching Hospital, had severe burns after the bus caught up with fire after colliding head-on with a long vehicle. He was amongst 18 others who were rushed to the Techiman Holy Family Hospital. Whilst on admission, he told JoyNews that he lost his phone and all items capable of helping him speak with his family.
We free Tamale ko Accra ena yanya accident no phone no ayira no ntino mentumi ancho bia nti omu bi anim sese krampo say baby say na atome omu nim obi anim.
Audu unfortunately passed on this morning, raising the death toll to 6. Together with the driver of the long vehicle truck who got burnt beyond recognition, Audu was buried at the Techiman Muslim cemetery per the teachings of Islam under the supervision of some family members. Abubakar Mama is a close friend to the late Audu Momoni. He recounts how he had the unfortunate news of the ghastly accident that led to his friend's death.
At night, I was sitting and waiting for him. About 10 o'clock, even 11 o'clock before somebody picked the phone. When I speak outside, he said, you don't understand outside. Before I said, what is happening? He said that this phone he picked on scene of accident. Accident, yes. He said that they got accident. Where he picked the phone.
Abubakar described Audu's death as a great loss to himself and his family.
No one leave me today. I can't say anything. I can't say anything about God. Whatever God did is right. So I take it like that. But I lost a friend. I will never forget. I will never forget to the end of my life. Yes. Great loss to family. They love him very much. All of them, they love him.
Mustafa Murray is also a brother to the driver of the long vehicle who got bent beyond recognition. For him, what he saw upon arriving at the morgue is heartbreaking.
In fact, Amuna beti machire say we nipa no woni anyasa wo de anya de obutima hu bibia bi me hu adwiri ofa me hu accident na abo me hu ankasa abo me hu yie ama me de aya disua wo me da ho twika bo wadonko susi ya me twika me de aya disua wo say me kotena ksti anim sisi ya kwan ya mefa so me nante me de aya disua pa.
They are appealing to authorities in the road industry to help implement the needed road signs on the highways to help minimize accidents on the roads.
Enema de bebre o ha woso nkomo ye boa ye wo kwan so ba bi wo ha ehu penti na mo penti nkyɛnkyɛn ne mfimfini ne nkyɛnkyɛn no eboa ya na jonante papa even sa ka bi kanu akora to wani a sa penti ne ma wo hunu kwan no mu ekwan no ba bi wo ho a wo hu sa ne ma no careful bi wo ho kwa pa wo hu se mu de sambolo bi asi ho a kire se ho ye careful so hu bumping bi wo ho kwa pa obedu wo hu omu fa bibia sambolo bi ansi ho obedu no na wo for no force so hu ntinka sa ne ma nyina nko mbe ya ma yanka ye pa bebua ye ya driver for no.
Currently, all of the victims on admission at the Techiman Holy Family Hospital have been treated and discharged, with some referred to the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital and the Tamale Teaching Hospital. Anas Sabit, JoyNews, Techiman.
Our deepest condolences to families that have lost loved ones in this unfortunate incident. And that's how we end this edition of the AM News. I've got my newspapers on standby coming up shortly. I'll be delving into the papers with Dr. Asa Santi. Do stay.